Okay, we'll start it. ठीक है. Now, you know the basic, what we can say, that the subjects for the different electronics and systems. Now, before going for the gate examination, you need to know the what are the different subjects. They are what asking the questions on that one. So you are getting the digital circuit subject also, analog circuit subject also, then analog communication, then digital communication, then your signal and system mathematics. Yes. So out of these, some of the subjects for the gate examination, I am going to give some of the introduction on your analog communication. Okay. Now, analog communication, it is a basic type of your communication. If we go for the communication, the communication means what? Exchange of information from source to destination, right? Second is what? If communication is short communication, there is no need of your modulation, right? Second thing is what are the basic types of your communication? If I want to convey the information or message from source to destination, you need to go for the what types of communication. So there are basically two types of communications. One is what? Hmm? One-way communication, and second is what? Two-way communication. In one-way communication, information can be sent in only one way, either from source to destination or either from destination to source. So only one person can transmit information, other can receive the information, right? In two-way communications, we can transmit information in both way, either from transmitter or either from the receiver also. For that we require the transceiver. Now in again two-way communication we have half duplex and full duplex. In half duplex, one can send information at a time and other can receive it. Secondly, in full duplex, both can send information as well as receive the information at a time, right? So in one-way communication, we can send information in only one way. The best example is what? Television, where we can receive only the information, we can't transmit the information. Yes, that is what the best example of your what? One-way communication. In two-way communication, half duplex means what? One person can send the information at a time and other can listen. After that, other can transmit the information and first can listen it. The best example is walkie-talkie used in police station or in military applications. So one person can transmit initially, then other can listen it. After finishing of first person's information, then second can transmit the information. So you are getting the information transmission will be called as what? Half duplex communication. Now for full duplex communication, best example is what? Your mobile or your telephone, where we can transmit as well as we can listen simultaneously information. Getting it? Now second is what? If the distance is lower, that is what, 1 meter, 2 meter, you can easily transmit the signal without any modifications, without any amplification it, because transmitter and receiver having a distance will be short distance, and that type of modulation is called as what? Baseband modulation. So whatever the information is there, that information is directly sent to the receiver side, or from receiver to direct to the transmitter side. Second thing is what, as we send the information for longer distance, what will happen? Your signal strength will be goes on decreasing. Say from 1 meter I will go for 10 meter and I will try to transmit this information. The quality of signal will be goes on decreasing. Say again I can go for the 1 kilometer. I will receive the signal, but quality and value of the signal will be again goes on decreasing. So there is again relation what the information is inversely or directly proportional to the distance, or voltage is directly proportional to the uh, distance, is it? So it is, I think, inversely proportional. So as distance will be increased, your voltage level will be goes on decreasing. Yes or no? So reception will be goes on weaker. So while the distance will be say kilometer, say 1,000 kilometers, say 100 kilometer, during that time baseband communication is not useful because we can't listen the signal directly as it is. Yes, if I want to transmit my information or voice signal, say A, it is very easy to listen at a short distance, say 1 meter. If I speak A, you can easily hear it. But if distance will be increased, say 10 meter, you are getting the signal, but its voice level will be decreased. If it is 1 kilometer, you are not getting anything from the receiver side that what I say or what I send the information. See, if I say B, you are not getting anything at the receiver side. So you need the amplifier again. So you amplify that signal and then you can transmit it. So up to some extent it is possible that baseband communication is sending the information from source to destination. But after some time or some distance, we can't send the information with amplified or with doing the amplification of that signal for a particular distance. So you need to convert that signal into another form. You transmit this for the say longer distance. Getting it? Second point is what? How the signal will be traveled, then how to send it. There is basic two types of signal, sorry, channels. There is what directly the wired channel, and second is what wireless channel. In wired channel, you can connect the cable between transmitter and receiver directly. So if I want to transmit for 10 kilometer, I can use the cable for 10 kilometer. Then if I want to transmit for say 100 kilometer, I can go for the 100 kilometer cable from transmitter to the receiver side. But if you are checking the transmissions cost for the wired communication, cost is very high. Yes, so to avoid the costing of this one, we can go for the wireless communication. Second thing, what is the basic communication system block diagram? First block will be input transducer, second block will be encoder, then communication channel, then next will be whatever decoder, then next will be whatever receiver, or say output source. Now input source, if information is there, it may be voice, it may be video, it may be data, it may be image, whatever it may be. So this data I can apply to the input transducer or input source. At input source, we require the transducer, which convert your physical quantity into electrical quantity. If I want to send my voice, you need to what? transducer which convert your physical quantity into electrical quantity, right? So best example is what? Mic, where we can speak into the mic, which convert your voice signal into electrical signal. Then it is given to the encoder. So encoder contains your transmitter part as well as what? Your amplifier part. Then after modification or after changing the strength of the signal to the required level, the signal will be transmitted to the channel. Then channel will send this information to the what? Decoder side. So channel having wireless or channel having wired communication or wired channel. Then at the receiver side, we have a decoder part as well as what? Amplifier part. So what decoder will do? Decoder will be convert your amplified signal to a required or its original position, and if the strength of signal is lower, then it is amplified by the amplifier. So at the decoder part we have the receiver, we have the again amplifier to convert that low or weak signal in a required level, which is what actually your original signal, and then it is given to the output source. Say again one more transducer which convert your electrical quantity into physical quantity, right? Say if it is voice, so we require the speaker at the output side which convert your electrical signal into voice signal, that is what? Loudspeaker. So if I transmit A, you are receiving the A at the output of your speaker. This is what the basic communication block schematic. So that part is already you know it. So just I revised it. What is it? And you know then what is the communication and how the communication happen. Now consider related to the ENTC or electronics. We need to process on your these input source by converting the signal into electrical quantity. You have to design the transmitter part, amplifier part, then your receiver part and your amplifier of your receiver. Second, if it is wired, you can simply connect the cable, that is what the wired channel or wired communication. So disadvantage, I already told you that the cost of the cable is very high. That's why we can go for the wireless communication. If it is wireless communication, you need to transmit your signal into the air and it will be travel to the receiver side. Receiver side, receiver will receive that signal. So we need again one more antenna, which is what? Receiving antenna. Then receiver will be receive that signal, convert into original and given to the amplifier. It will amplify to the required level and it will be gives to the output devices. Second thing is what? How to transmit this signal into the air. Yes. So if I transmit the electrical signal, it is voltage or current, it will not directly transmit into the air, no? Is it? Have you seen it? If I want to transmit the current, I will open the wire only and I will say, okay, signal is going to out. No, your signal is not directly transmitted into the air, whether it is electric signal. You need to convert that signal into wave because only wave is travel from source to destination. That wave is called as what? Electromagnetic wave. Yes, which is having a component of electric field and magnetic field. So you can convert your electric signal into electromagnetic wave, and that is done by the antenna, right? So this antenna will convert your electric signal into electromagnetic wave. So electromagnetic wave, what is the property of that one? It is, yes, electric field is perpendicular to magnetic field. Yes, so electric field you are getting at a y-axis and magnetic field you are getting at a x-axis. So which is what horizontally to the earth, which is what your magnetic field, and perpendicular to the earth, which is what your electric field, and both are what again perpendicular to each other because of the its property. So you are getting the waves as electromagnetic waves, which is what Y signal, that is what electric field is parallel to the Y signal, and your electric field is parallel to the X signal or X axis. Now second is what, even though I can transmit the signal for longer distance, you need the modulation. What is the need of modulation, or what is the modulation? Yes, conversion of one signal parameter into another signal parameter, right? So I can vary the parameter of one signal with respect to the parameter of analog signal. This is what the basic modulation definition. Now we have to decide which parameter signals you have to vary in which parameter. So important point is what, you have to change the one parameter signal means what? Can we change the information? No, we can't change the information because information we want to keep as it is till the receiver end. If I change the information, then there is no use of your communication. If I transmit say A signal, I want A signal at the receiver side. Yes, so I can't change the A means what, I can't change the information. Yes, so I can change the another signal which carry the information from one point to another point. That is what, one signal to, or one destination to another destination. Getting it? And that carrier is called as what? Carrier signal. So we have the two signal, which is information signal, and second signal is what? Carrier signal. And we need to change the parameter of your carrier signal, because I can't change the parameter of your information signal. Your information must be constant. So according to that, parameters of the carrier signal will get three types of modulation techniques. So which are these parameters? They consider the sinusoidal signal as a carrier signal. We have three parameters of your any sinusoidal signal, that is amplitude, phase, and frequency. So these parameters we are going to change in accordance with the parameter of your information signal. The information parameter is what? Only instantaneous value. So instantaneous means what? The signal which is transmit from the instant or in time. From that time we will check the, or we will vary the parameter of the carrier signal, and that point is called as what? Instantaneous value of that signal. So whatever may be the instant, from that instant we will start to vary, or we will start the change in parameter of the carrier signal. So parameter we know right now: amplitude, phase, and frequency. Accordingly you are getting the types of modulation, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation. Now from this one, now we can easily define the definitions of AM, PM, and FM: amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation. Okay, so that part we know. The modulation is nothing but the, yes, process in which some characteristics of high frequency carrier signal is changed accordance to the instantaneous amplitude of the information. Yes, so information sometimes called as what? Baseband signal. Now why modulation is used? Because of first point that already I told you, that is distance. if distance is more, we can't send the signal directly, so that we require the modulation. Yes. Second, if I want to transmit the more signal simultaneously from one place to other place, during that time also we require the modulation. So within one channel I can transmit the multiple signals simultaneously. That is called as what? Multiplexing. You know the operation of multiplexer, where we can apply the multiple input and output will be single. So same, we require the multiplexing in your modulation. That's why modulation is required. Yes. So at the input side we have the again multiplexer, and output side we require the demultiplexer. Then second is what? There will be the possibility of your interference of noise, right? So as already I say that if your signal will be travel for longer distance, your voltage strength will be goes on decreasing. So for that, to maintain the signal strength constant, you need to go for the modulation, right? So this is what the basic definition of your modulation. Now, what is the use of the modulation? Yes, so modulation is used for the broadcasting purpose for the audio signal as well as what? Video signal. That is what your example of one-way communication. Am I audible to all? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. Second application of modulation is what? In mobile radio communication, which is what? Your cell phone or telephone, where two-way communication is used. So transmitter as well as receive or receiver can receive the signal. That is what the main application of your modulation, where you are getting the best use of your techniques. Now already I told you what is the types of modulations. So we have three types of modulation: basic, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation. Definition we know of the modulation. The parameter of one signal will be changed in accordance with parameter of the second, right? So which parameter right now you are going to change? Frequency, phase, and amplitude. So you are getting AM, FM, and PM. So you can change the instantaneous value or amplitude of the, so suppose we can go for the AM. What is the definition? Amplitude of the carrier signal is changes in accordance with instantaneous value of information signal, yes, keeping frequency and phase constant. So you are getting the change in amplitude of the carrier signal keeping frequency and phase constant, that is called as what? Amplitude modulation. Second is what? Frequency modulation. You can change the frequency of that carrier signal keeping amplitude and phase constant of what? Carrier signal. Yes, the instantaneous value we can check of your information signal. Another name that information signal is called as modulating signal. So you change the frequency of the carrier signal in accordance with instantaneous value of modulating signal keeping amplitude and phase constant, that is frequency modulation. Similarly for phase modulation, phase of the carrier signal changes in accordance with instantaneous value of modulating signal keeping amplitude and frequency constant. Now this is what the basic amplitude modulation graphical representation. You know this is what the modulating signal. Yes, having positive negative peak. So low signal is what? Modulating signal. Carrier signal having the frequency is what? High frequency. So this is shows the high frequency signal. This will show the low frequency signal. Now we will change the amplitude of this carrier signal with instantaneous value of your modulating signal. So at every instant, your amplitude of the carrier signal you have to vary. So according to you are getting this type of signal where amplitude of the carrier signal will be changed with respect to instantaneous value of the modulating signal. So you are getting this type of signal at the output side, where the signal strength is 0.25 here, zero point 0.5, 0.75, and 1. So 0.25 you are getting the maximum value of your informated signal, or you can say amplitude modulated signal, because the value of the instantaneous signal is maximum here. 0.5 here it is 0, 0.75 it is maximum to the negative side, and at 1 it is 0. So zero point 0.5 you are getting the maximum signal, sorry 0.25, zero point 0.5 you are getting the VC, and then 0.75 you are getting the negative, that is to the negative side, and then again increased. So this cycle will be repeats continuously till the information is present. The upper part is called as what your again envelope, and lower part is called as what your negative envelope. ठीक है. So what is the again modulation if I want to go for the in presence of what the mathematical model? So amplitude modulation is what having the message signal value is what the MT, and if I write it in terms of mathematical representation, it is Vc cos omega m, yes, T, and omega or Ct equals to what AC cos omega c of T. Getting it? So right now we have the two signals. One is what Vm cos omega c of T, and second Vc cos omega c of T, and omega equals to 2 pi fc or 2 pi f. If it is omega m, it is 2 pi fm. If it is omega c, it is 2 pi fc. So this results in a what amplitude signal whose amplitude is a function of message signal. Now if we solve these equations, we are getting the final equation which contains the amplitude modulated signal. Okay. Now there are several types of your modulation signal. Achha, हाँ. So there are several different ways of amplitude modulation with the carrier signal, right? So each result in different spectral characteristics for the transmitted signal. Second, we know the different again types of modulation, which is what double sideband suppressed carrier, and second is what single sideband suppressed carrier. So which is called as what DSB SC and SSB SC signal. So what is the difference between these two? Suppressed carrier, we will suppress the carrier. Yes. Why? There is no information present in carrier, that's why we can suppress the carrier. So we have the two sidebands with removing the carrier, and second sideband or second method we are having single sideband, because in double sideband both the sidebands having the same information, right? So again there is a possibility to save the power. Why should we go for the suppression of the carrier as well as suppression of the sideband? To save the power. If I save the power, there is a more signal information is possible to transmit. Is it? Yes. So that we can save the power which is able to transmit to the, or we can accommodate by the another signal also. So multiplexing is possible. That's why we can suppress the carrier, which will give the some percentage of power saving. Again, if we suppress this on one more sideband, you are getting the some percentage of power saving, right? So this is what the some of the graphical representation of the modulation index that we'll see in detail. Then second point is what so this is what the envelope wire we will write the equation as AC into 1 plus KMT. Then it is AC into bracket 1 plus KMT into cos omega C of t. This is what the upper envelope equation. This is what the AM signal equation. That equation also we have solved in or we have covered in second year analog communication subject. Okay. So if I go for the spectrum of the that signal, which is what AM signal spectrum. Spectrum means what? It is representation in terms of what? Frequency. So this first diagram will be shows the representation on the spectrum analyzer, which is having the M of t, that is input signal, and this is what the your output signal, which is what amplitude modulated signal, where we have the three signals present. So when we solve the equation of the amplitude modulated, you are getting the equation in terms of what? Carrier signal plus upper sideband plus lower sideband. This signal will be represent as like this one, which is called as what? Spectrum. So middle one you are getting the carrier signal, left hand side you are getting the lower sideband, and right hand side you are getting the what? Upper sideband. Second important point is what? This is the carrier signal amplitude. The value will be Vc. Now this is what the two sidebands having the amplitude is what? Constant, and its value will be m square Vc by 2, m square Vc by 2. How, that I will tell you afterwards by after solving the equation. Second, how the modulation process is there. This is what the amplifier, this is what the adder, this is what the mixed of your signal. Second, we will apply the input signal, that is what M of t, which is not a required level, so that we will use the amplifier that will be mixed with some other noise signal, and after that it will be applied to a mixer which mix the input signal, and second is what? Your carrier signal. When this will be mixed, these two signal output you are getting as a what? Amplitude modulated wave. Getting it? Now this is what the another signal where we can boost the level of the signal. Yes. And at the output side you're getting the mixing of M of t into AC cos omega C of t. Right? So MT, if you consider Vm cos omega M of t, so it is a multiplication of this into this. So you are getting the term is what? Cos into cos. So cos A into cos B, you know the equation is what? Half of cos B minus A, yes, plus cos of A plus B. So A will be considered as what? Omega M of t, and P is considered as omega C of t. So what will be the equation then? If it is multiplication of these two, you are getting half of cos, yes, into bracket omega C minus omega M of t, yes, and cos of omega C plus omega M of t. Yes, what is amplitude? it is what? Vm into Vc divided by 2, right? And we know the parameter, that is modulation index equals to what? Vm upon Vc. So that Vm upon Vc is equals to called as what? Modulation index. If I want to find out the value of Vc, it is mVm, because Vm if I send to the left side, you are getting the value of Vc, because m equal to Vm by Vc. So sorry, we'll find out the value of Vm, because we have the equation what? Vm into so. So if I put the value of this one into the equation, we are getting the equation is what? mVc by 2 into cos of omega c minus omega m of t plus mVc by 2 cos, yes, omega c plus omega m of t, and carrier is also present out there, that is why it is Vc cos omega c of t. So that we are getting this type of equation. This is graphical representation, which is what? Vc cos omega c of t and two upper and one upper sideband, one lower sideband. It is what? Omega c minus omega m of t, omega c plus omega m of t. If it is in terms of frequency, this is fc minus fm. This is what? Fc plus fm, right? So this is what the scheme where we'll get the signal. Now what is square law demodulation? Now I want to reconstruct it again, because this is the information signal. You are getting the modulated signal. After transmitting, I will apply this as an input. Yes, and I want this as the output. Getting it? That will be achieved by this diagram. So S of t is my what? Modulated signal, which is what? This type of signal. If you solve it, you are getting this type of signal. Then after connecting to square law demodulator, you are getting again the same things, where cos 2 omega c is multiplied with these two. Yes, if you are making the square, you are getting only one term is present, which is what? M of t, again M of t, and you are getting the second term will be what? In terms of what? Omega c of t, right? One term you are getting in terms of mt, second term you are getting in terms of omega ct, right? This plus this. So if it is connected to the low pass filter, what low pass filter will do? It will be pass only the low frequency, and it will be block only high frequency. If you check this one and this one, this contains the high frequency signal. So second term is what? High frequency signal, and first term is what? Low frequency signal, because it is m of t. That means what? Omega m of t. Yes. So this signal will be blocked by the low pass filter, that is cos 2 omega ct, and it will pass only this first term. So you are getting this term at the output side. Then we go for the root square demodulator, where it will be gives the signal will be only m of t at the output side here, right? So this will be what? The some constant value, and m of t will be what? Its original signal, which is what mentioned here. Getting it? So this is what the sum of the variable. So that is what the sum voltage or booster, you can say it is gain. So alpha will be considered as a booster point or gain, and this is what DC offset, which is not considered. The remaining is what? M of t at the output side. That is what your Y of t signal. So we know right now modulation, how it is possible. And second, we know the demodulation is possible. Second is what? Coherent modulation, where we can apply the one more signal, which is what? Two signals multiplication, which is what? For the synchronization purpose, we can add the omega c, that is what? Carrier signal with your modulated signal. So this will be mixed with your cos omega c of t, this one. So this become omega c t into omega ct. So it become square ct. So we know that, yes, cos square omega t. Yes, so cos square omega t is nothing but what? 1 plus cos 2 omega t. Is it? Or it is half into bracket 1 plus cos omega or 2 omega t. So we'll write here as what I explained. So it is AC 1 plus k m of t into half. If I go for this outside, it is 1 plus cos 2 omega ct, right? Half is outside this bracket. Or if it is inside, it is 1 plus cos 2 omega ct divided by 2. Now solve this bracket. If you solve this bracket, you are getting this term. Yes, which contain one product or one term will be m of t and second term will be 2 cos omega c of t. So cos omega c of t, your high frequency signal, which is carrier signal. This is what m of t is, low signal, that is what input signal. That is applied to the low pass filter. So what low pass filter will do? It will be block the high frequency signal and pass the low frequency signal. So it will pass only m of t at the output side. Getting it? So same things what we have seen here, same thing is applied here, but we add the another carrier signal which is having the same value as that of what input signal value. So that's why it is called as what coherent demodulation. And at the output side you are getting m of t, which is what gain or variable, what we can say that the constant. So whatever it may be, you can say it is what amplifier constant or gain. So only remaining is what m of t, that is what your output signal as a mt. So it equals to, you are getting m of t. So this is what the simulation what they have given, that modulator is applied to the virtual lab or virtual scope. You are getting the demodulated signal. So after running this one in MATLAB, we have the input, then it is given to the adder. So adder will be mixed this signal which using the product, which is what mixer, and the output you are getting the modulated signal, which is shown on the, say, here graphical representation. Second is what, then it is given to the another signal which is what connected to the low pass filter. You can use the square law detector here. So square of this signal, that means what, this point, square law detector. So it will be squared this lower side at this point, and then it is given to the low pass filter. So it will be block the omega c, or it will be bypass this omega c and pass the, yes, low signal, and then square law here is used. So square root is also required, and then it is given to the adder, which will be add the constant signal, and then it is given to the product, which will be mix the two signal again, which will be gives the output will be reconstructed signal, and that will be shown on the oscilloscope. So this is what the real-time environment, how that signal will be passed and how the internal structure will be there. So we'll generate the signal which is given to the analog to digital converter. Then it will be AM modulator, then again digital to analog converter, then converted to the input or given to the line out to the line in. In the left side we'll get an analog to digital converter, AM demodulator, and digital to analog converter, which convert your signal into analog form. So this is what the transducer. Then this is what your modulator. This is what your, again, transmitter, which transmit the signal into air. Again it will be input transducer of receiver, Then this is the demodulator, and this is what again output. As it is by varying the frequency or by varying the phase. Okay. So we have the angle modulation where the signal will be represented in terms of what? In angle form, that is omega t plus phi. Yes, this is what the angle. So when we write the equation of your any sinusoidal signal, always we write in terms of what? V sine into bracket omega t plus phi, right? Not only omega t. So sometime we'll write a plus phi also. Yes. So that total angle is called as what? Omega t plus phi. And if it is only omega, that is what the angular frequency. And phi is what? Phase. So you can vary the angular frequency as well as you can vary the angular phase also, phi. That entire bracket is called as what? Angle. Omega t plus phi. So accordingly there will be change in the, or there is a type of modulation that is called as, if I change the omega, that is called as the frequency variation. So that is what frequency modulation. If I change the phi, this is called as what? Phase modulation. Okay. So vary the carrier frequency, you are getting the FM, or vary the phase, you are getting the phase modulation. Yes, in accordance with the message signal, right? So this is what the information signal. You can change the, okay. So if I apply the signal, okay. So introduction we have angle modulation. नाही लिहिले नाहीत मार्क अजून. किती टाकायचे मार्क काही सांगितलेच नाहीत ना. माझं लेक्चर होतं ना गेटचं झालं टाकतो. मला आता 1 वाजेपर्यंत लेक्चर आहे 2 तास. हो ना. सह्या करून टाकून द्या. सह्या केलेल्या त्याच्या. ठीक आहे. हा थोड्या वेळाने बाकीचे. हो हो ते बाकी सीडी तयार तर करा. ठीक आहे ठीक आहे. मग हे पण करून द्या ना त्याच्या सेट लावून. मी त्याचे मार्क ऍड करतो त्याच्यात. कारण ब्लँकच असेल ना ते. ब्लँकवाले माझंच असणार आहे. मी मार्क टाकून देतो ते. हो हो. Sorry for interrupt. What the signal will be vary in accordance to that instantaneous value. So signal means what? Here frequency we are going to vary. According to that you are getting this signal value. That this is what the amplitude frequency modulation. Then this is what the representation of your rectangular pulse, which will give the amplitude modulation and phase modulation. Sorry, frequency modulation and phase modulation. Now, when we can go for the signal carrier as a sinusoidal signal, you are getting this type of output. Yes, that already we have seen it, that the instantaneous value of this modulating signal. Yes, there is a variation in what your phase, as well as there is a variation in your frequency, right? So whenever there is a maximum frequency, when it is possible, so uh, we have the maximum instantaneous value. During that time frequency will be maximum. Whenever there is a minimum frequency, sorry, minimum instantaneous value, there is a minimum frequency, right? So if you check this part, you are getting the maximum deviation. At this point you are getting the minimum deviation, right? This is what the phase modulation, you can see the lower diagram. This is what the frequency modulation, FM, uh, where this point will give the maximum deviation, and at this point you are getting the minimum deviation. Yes, so here you are getting the plus del, here you are getting the minus del, right? Then minimum del, sorry, here minimum del, maximum del, minimum del. So whenever the maximum signal is there, maximum deviation is there, minimum signal is there, minimum deviation, then maximum deviation, then minimum deviation. So maximum frequency, minimum frequency, maximum frequency, minimum frequency. So you are getting the variation in your frequency. That's why it is called as what? Frequency modulation. Now you are getting this one diagram clear cut, where maximum peak of your message frequency will be maximum, minimum peak of your message deviation will be minimum, so that frequency is minimum, and so on. Now for the phase modulation, it is reverse of that one. Why? If I go for the low frequency signal, phase across it will be maximum. Yes, and when there is a compression of the frequency, if you check at this point, your phase will be minimum. If you check at this point, phase will be maximum. So that you are getting the reverse diagram of the frequency modulation, which is called as what? Phase modulation. Now second what important point that I am going to tell you, even though there is a change in phase, indirectly there is a change in the frequency. Is it right? That's why this PM method is called as what? Indirect method of frequency modulation generation. Yes, this is direct method where we can directly generate the frequency but modulation. Here we can create the frequency modulation but indirectly. Means what? We will change the phase, so that phase modulation will be occur, and that phase modulation indirectly we can say that the change in the frequency. That's why it is indirect frequency modulation. Getting it? Now the second is what? While AM is the linear process, advantages, suppose somewhat little bit disadvantages. In AM it is linear process, while FM and PM are what? Non-linear process. FM and PM provide many advantages to you. That is what? Immunity to noise, then interference, then yes, cost reduction over your amplitude modulation. So it is more immunity to your signal in FM over your AM, and interference is less in FM, whereas more in AM. Then demodulation may be complex, but modern ICs allow cost-effective implementation. Yes, even though your modulation demodulation technique having the complexity as compared to your AM, but due to of your modern ICs, that is new digital technologies, you have the permission or allow the cost-effective implementation. Where they have given the example is FM radio, which is what? High quality but not expensive receivers. So this is what the concept of your frequency modulation, how it is possible. So this is what the omega t will divided into omega t, sorry, this phi. This is single theta. Theta is nothing but what? The angular value, that will be theta converted into omega c plus phi. That is what? Frequency plus angle. That is 2 pi fct. So omega c is again 2 pi fct and phi t, where phi it is your instantaneous phase deviation and theta is what your instantaneous angle. Yes, so instantaneous angle, if we change with respect to that angular value, you are getting omega c of t plus d phi t by dt. So this is what the frequency variation and this is what phase variation. So if I go for the frequency conversion, the instantaneous frequency is given as 1 upon 2 pi into d theta I upon dt. So therefore fc will be what? 1 upon 2 pi d phi I t by dt. So this is one term where FIT, instantaneous frequency, that is equal to fc plus this angular value, that is what d phi I by dt. So frequency deviation, what they have calculated as FIT equals to 1 upon 2 pi d phi I t upon dt. So this instantaneous deviation will be depends on what your angular, no sorry, phase deviation variation. So this is what the some examples they have given for the instantaneous frequency having the minimum and maximum deviation. X of t they consider as a cos 10 pi t plus pi t square. Okay. Then phase modulation we have the same, but the equation will be changed at a cos omega c of t plus kp into mt, where kp is your phase modulation and there it is what? Yes, km, that is what, or you can say kf, that is frequency, sorry, or modulation index of your frequency modulation, and kp is what here they have given the constant, which is what? Phase sensitivity. So fi will be changed as what? Frequency plus deviation. So change in the instantaneous frequency fm, which is what? Small fm, which is what your fc plus your deviation, that is what? Fc plus delta f. Same for frequency modulation, instantaneous value will be same, fc plus kf, no? So integration minus infinity to t, so it will be cos omega c of t plus kf m alpha into d alpha, that is what? Deviation constant of the frequency modulation, which is denoted as kf. Okay. Then AM versus FM versus PM they have shown, that all diagram already we have seen in previous PPTs. Now this is what the schematic of your frequency modulation and phase modulation, where we can apply the signal, then it is given to the phase modulator, will give the phase output signal or phase modulation signal, and when it is given to the frequency modulator, you are getting the output will be FM signal. So what has inbuilt, if it is integration in your or integrated with your input signal, that gives the frequency modulation, and if we go for the derivative, you will get the phase modulation. So that is what some of the points that will give. This what FM or PM modulator may be used to generate FM slash PM. So from PM we can also create the FM. From FM we can also create the PM. Then FM is much more frequently used than the PM. Second and third point is what all properties of a PM signal can be deduced from that of an FM signal. Yes. So they have given the some examples that you can draw the FM and PM waves for the modulating signal MT shown in figure 4.1. That is what this is figure 4.1. We'll have the uh, sketch of the that FM and PM. So if the input signal is MT is minus AM value will get a time T, then we'll get a signal is this type of sketch with respect to the sync. If it is sinusoidal signal, you are getting the sinusoidal output signal at the output side. Then bandwidth, they have asked how to find out the bandwidth. So for FM, we have the bandwidth will be infinity, where this is A into cos 2 pi fc of t minus kf a t sin 2 pi fc of t plus A minus kf square by 2 exponential a square 2 pi fc of t plus a3 2 pi fc of t plus 4 5 6 up to infinity. So where at they have considered the integration from minus infinity to t m alpha into d alpha. That gives the narrow band FM and wide band FM. So for narrow band FM, we have the bandwidth value will be 2b, where SNFMT, that will be given equation as A cos 2 pi fc of t minus kf at sin 2 pi fc of t. That is what omega c of t minus kf into A, or you can say the derivation constant omega c of t or delta omega c of t. So its bandwidth will be, you are getting the 2b. Same bandwidth you are getting for the narrow PM also, that is phase modulation. Only change will be kf will be changed as a kp into mt. All other things will be same. So how to create that signal, which is what narrow band FM. So first input signal we can apply to the integrator, then it will be mixed with some phase change circuit, that is minus 90 degrees circuit, which is what applied to the mixer. So we have the oscillator generator, which is what carrier generator, that will be given to the 90-degree phase shift. Then it is applied to the mixer with your m of t signal, which is integrated. Then these two signal will be multiplied to gain with kf, that is constant kf, and then it is added with your cos 2 pi fc of t, that is what omega c of t signal. And when these two will be added, your output will be getting your narrow band FM. Same for narrow band PM, we have the same. So only constant kf will be changed to kp. So this will be what the signal values. If kf into at will be considered as a, during that time bandwidth will getting as a 2 into delta f plus b. Yes, that is what the deviation plus b. Therefore, if it is beta, the value will be what 2b into bracket beta plus 1. That is deviation. So what is delta f? Delta f is nothing but what deviation, and deviation is given as what kf into mp divided by 2 pi. So whenever in examination they will ask the calculate the deviation, use the kf into mp divided by 2 pi formula, or we'll get a beta equals to what delta f, that is deviation upon b, right? So beta is nothing but what? The deviation ratio, or it is what? Modulation index. So we'll say it is what? MF. So MF, that is what? Equals to deviation upon maximum bandwidth. Sorry, maximum signal, FM. That is what? 2 into delta here plus FM, and then it will be gives this value. So we'll get a modulation index. Then for wideband FM, they are given what? This is for the FM. Then for PM also the value will be same, bandwidth. Bandwidth you are getting the same, where delta or deviation will be changed as what? KPMP upon 2 pi. Here it is what? KF into MP upon 2 pi. But MP is what? Maximum M dash T, right? Then tone modulation we don't have. Spectrum analyzer they have given it. This Bessel's function, that is also covered. Then so bandwidth that we have calculated already, from that one we get the modulation index M equals to delta F upon maximum modulating signal frequency, because bandwidth they are given 2 FM into beta plus 1, where this deviation will be given as alpha k upon or alpha kf upon 2 pi. Yes, so alpha kf is nothing, or 2 pi is nothing but what your this deviation. Yes, that is delta f. Therefore beta become automatically delta f, and this fm will be goes to this side. If you calculate this beta from this equation, you are getting this value. So example they are given, calculate the a single tone FM signal is XFMT 10 cos 2 pi 10 raised to 6 of t. Second example, third example they are given. So we have two methods to generate your FM signal. Already I told you that if we directly create the frequency modulation from the circuit, that method is called as what? Direct method. And if we create the frequency modulated wave from phase modulation, that method is called as what? Indirect method. So we can't directly generate the FM, we can generate the FM indirectly. That's why we have the two generation methods. Okay. Indirect generation method, so that is what the from phase modulation we have the some change in the phase, will get a frequency modulation. We can apply the phase directly here, that will give the change in the phase, and according to that your signal strength or signal value will be vary, so that there is a variation in your frequency, and if there is a variation in your frequency, there is a change in the deviation, and that deviation called is nothing but what? Frequency modulation. Then indirect, how they will be say that, you can say that how to create that wideband frequency. We can apply the narrowband frequency to the any multiplier, that is what improves the values by using the gain also, or you can say it is multiplier. You are getting the output will be increased signal, that is what your band will be changed from narrow to wide. That's why it is wideband frequency modulation. So what is it? So that will be shows here. Narrowband FM you can give to the multiplier. Yes, FC, and if it is multiplier is N, output will be N into FC. Then it is given to the what? Local oscillator. Yes, so what local oscillator will do? Local oscillator will be add the signal into the N into FC. So your output will be NFC plus FLO. And then it is given to the band pass filter, and you are getting the output is what? wideband FM. So this is what the Armstrong method, which create the indirect frequency modulated wave. Already we have seen this diagram also in second year. So narrowband FM will create. How the narrowband will create, we'll see in next slide. There will be the creation, and it is given to the multiplier, which will multiply the gain to both. Yes, that is to the frequency as well as what to the deviation. So both will be increased here by multiplying to 64. So multiply to this one, your frequency will be changed to 1.6, and your this will be changed to 12.8 megahertz. Then it is given to the mixed or given to the mixer through the 10.9 megahertz second input. So this 10.9 will be added into this 12.8. So this will give the 1.9 megahertz signal, and then your deviation will be constant, which will be 1.6. Then it is given to the multiplier, which is having the gain factor is 48. So 1.9 into this 48 plus 1.6 into this 48, you are getting the variation in your both, that is deviation as well as what in frequency. So both will be increased here, which will gives the amplification of your deviation as well as what frequency. So multiplier will vary both deviation as well as what frequency, but mixer will be change only the frequency. That is what keeping your multiplier constant. So then it is given to the power amplifier, and this power will be in boost the power of that signal, and then it will be transmit to the receiver side. So this is what the narrow band, which is called as what direct generation method, where we can vary the frequency of the oscillator in accordance with, yes, instantaneous value of voltage. That means what, I can change the oscillations by varying your voltage level. That type of oscillator is called as what, voltage controlled oscillator, or it is called as what, VCO. So VCO is a device which convert your oscillations in accordance with change in the voltage, or in accordance with voltage. So your modulating signal we can apply it to the VCO, that is voltage controlled oscillator, and that oscillations will be changed in accordance with that modulating signal, and output you are getting the frequency modulation. That is what wideband FM. Now how the internal structure will be there? This is what the concept, that how this modulation will be achieved, right? As there will be the voltage goes on increasing, what will happen? This capacitor will be fully charged. Getting it? So as soon as this capacitor is fully charged, having the polarity to the upper side, having the polarity to the lower side, what will happen? Then there is a flow of current in the inductor in the opposite direction. So from negative to positive side, yes. So there is a energy created when the flow of current will be across the inductor. Yes, so this will be discharged to inductor. Yes, so there is a path. So after that one, what will happen? The polarity will be reversed. Initially it is positive to the upper side, negative to the lower side. This negative will be goes through this inductor to the upper side, and lower will be having the polarity is positive. This is for first cycle. Now for again same, what will happen? It will be again discharged to this inductor. Yes, having, yes, negative to positive, negative to positive, and then the negative term will become to the lower side and positive term will become to the upper side. So this cycle will be continuously repeat, and you are getting the output oscillations at the output of your oscillator. This is what the function of your tuned circuit. Yes, and that is called as what your oscillator. Now this frequency variation will be occur due to change in the voltage. Yes, so this capacitor is what, if we connect the variable capacitor with parallel to the oscillator capacitor, its equivalent capacitor will be going to change. Yes, now this capacitor will be vary in accordance with the instantaneous value of modulating signal, and that is component is called as varactor diode. So this varactor diode will be change its capacitor in accordance with the instantaneous value of your voltage, so that there will be the change in the, yes, value of your frequency. How? The frequency equals to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. Yes, so 1 upon 2 pi root LC means what? C, if it is vary, frequency is again going to vary, because there is a relation between frequency and capacitance. Yes, so accordingly we are getting the change in the frequency, and that change in the frequency is nothing but the deviation, and if deviation is occurred, this is called as the frequency modulation. So which will be shown in the third diagram, where we are getting the frequency increase or frequency decrease. Yes, so left side, as voltage will be increased, capacitor will be decreased. Yes, and automatically frequency will be increased. So inversely proportional relation between frequency and capacitor. So that will be explained out here very well, where the, as the capacitor will be vary, your frequency is also going to vary. Now this is only the about the oscillator, and this CO is what? Is what output capacitance of your entire circuit, where diode capacitor will be added with your oscillator capacitor. So equivalent capacitor will be changed. So this will be explained by very well this diagram. This is varactor diode, where this capacitor will be vary in accordance with the instantaneous value of your modulating signal. This part you know it very well. Oscillator will be here, where tuned circuit of oscillator will be connected in parallel with your varactor diode capacitance, right? So as the input signal is applied, what will happen? The diode will be forward biased. Yes, the diode will be forward biased. Yes, so that there will be what? What are the condition of this varactor diode? So positive terminal here, negative will be here. Getting it? So what will happen? This two capacitor will be in series form. No, these two capacitor will be in parallel form. This capacitor and this capacitor. So that equivalent capacitor, if information will be positive, yes, so more voltage will be connected across it. So this transistor will be forward bias, it will be on. So no voltage will be applied to this one, so that capacitor will be decreased. So as capacitor will be decreased, frequency is inversely proportional to this one. Yes, so that if capacitor will be decreased, your frequency will be increased. So you are getting the positive deviation at the output side. Now when the negative in signal will be applied, what will happen? This will be off. This signal is applied to here, so that its capacitance will be maximum. So if the capacitor of this one is the maximum, equivalent capacitor will be also maximum. So that frequency will be minimum. And therefore, your deviation is also minimum, and you are getting the minimum deviation for the negative peak. And the cycle will be repeat till the input signal is present. Accordingly, you are getting the change in the frequency. This is what the operation of this varactor diode modulator. So what is the advantage of this circuit? So large frequency deviations are possible and thus less frequency multiplication is needed. Disadvantage for this one is what the carrier frequency tends to drift and additional circuitry is required for frequency stabilization. So due to of this one variation in your frequency which is applied to the input, there is a variation in what your frequency. So circuit become unstable. So we require the stabilizer for that one, where the will get the constant frequency. So they have given some of the discussion of Armstrong generation, amplitude distortion, frequency distortion. They are given the examples, demodulation of the again FM signal. So FM signal, which is what applied to the demodulator. So again, it is low pass filter. We call this a discriminator. Through the low pass filter, we can apply to this signal, where your output variations will be this one. That is what this is what the increasing level of your amplitude of the signal. Accordingly, at this point, you are getting the value will be 0. Yes, so deviation at this point will be no deviation. To the upper side, deviation will be more. That is what your FM frequency will be FC plus deviation. Here it is no deviation, also only FC is present. At this point, deviation will be negative, so that frequency will be minimum, so that entire frequency value will be FC minus deviation. So FC plus deviation, FC, FC minus deviation. If you checked it, you are getting the S type of curve, or here like this one. That is what we have the two circuits which will be tuned for FC plus deviation, and second circuit will be tuned for the FC minus deviation, and this is what the center when this two not achieved. So voltage will be created at this point will be null. Here positive voltage will be created, that is what plus Vm. Here negative voltage will be created, that is minus Vm. So FC plus deviation will be create more voltage, that is equivalent to the plus Vm. At this point the voltage will be null, that means what no voltage will be created, the value will be 0. Here the value will be FC minus deviation. Yes, therefore voltage will be to the negative side, so value will be minus Vm. So plus Vm 0 minus Vm, that signal you are getting at the output side. So this is what the S type of curve we are getting the output side. So if you check here, not here, it will be cleared very nicely. This is one circuit which will be tuned for the FC plus deviation. This is what the another circuit that will be tuned for the FC minus deviation. And this is what the center point where output will be taken with respect to upper side with respect to lower side. So what will happen? Input is applied to this point will be FM variation, that is maximum deviation, minimum deviation. So when maximum deviation will be occur, that upper circuit will be tuned for this frequency. So this will be tuned for FC plus deviation. This is tuned for the FC minus deviation. Yes. So when FC plus deviation will be occur, this diode will be forward biased, and this will be off. So what will happen? Positive voltage will be created across it. So terminal positive here and negative here. So that output will be you are getting plus Vm. Now when no deviation will be occur, these two voltage or these two circuit will be create the same voltage across it. Same voltage, same voltage. So positive say 2 volt, again here negative 2 volt. If I find out the entire voltage across this point to this point, plus 2 minus 2 volt, output will be 0. Getting it? When it is null, no frequency variation will be there. Next is what? When negative deviation will be occur, this second circuit will be tuned. Yes, so this diode will be on and the polarity will be positive to this side and negative to this side. Is it right? Because of on in the this second diode D2. So this at this side more voltage will be created than this one. Yes, this will be create some voltage, but not more. But this will be more voltage because this is tuned. So that this voltage will be more positive than this upper voltage, and entire voltage will be what? This is positive, this is negative. So it will be minus Vm. So when positive peak occur, this side or this will be more positive than this one. So value will be plus Vm. When negative deviation will occur, this will be more positive on the lower side than this one. So this will be on. So voltage level will be minus Vm. So accordingly you are getting the plus Vm 0 and minus Vm at the output side. And this is what reconstructed signal you are getting at the output side. So phase shifting circuit comparator is applied and it is given to the low pass filter. Output will be reconstructed signal. Quadrature demodulator, that is not. This will be explained very well. The circuit diagram of this one is explained by this graph, which is very well. Where this Fc plus deviation will be occur, your voltage will be this side. When Fc minus deviation will be occur, your voltage will be at this point. You are getting this type of curve. That is what? Varying from positive to negative. Then same positive to negative, and so on. So these cycles will be repeated, and if observe this signal, this will be look like as a modulating input signal. That is called as what? Reconstructed signal. So PLL application, you know this PLL very well, where we can apply the voltage control oscillator and error detector. So error will be detected by this comparator. So this input voltage is compared with this output voltage of your VCO. Yes, and we will try to create this error will be what? 0. So till there will be no error will occur, up to that point voltage oscillator will be changed its output voltage. Getting it? So this PLL will create the pre-stage, that is pre-running mode, locked loop, and your third is what? Capture mode. So this PLL will create the three modes. One is what? Pre-running mode. Second is what? Capture mode. Yes. And third is what? Locked loop. So whenever there is no any input signal is applied, this PLL or this VCO will create its own frequency, which is what? Free to create any type of frequency. That's why the mode is called as what? Free running mode. Now as soon as we can apply the input signal, what will happen? Now oscillator will go to capture that frequency. Yes, if we write a competition between two persons, for example, whenever there is no any competitor, the person will be only single. It is in free. Whatever the running or whatever they are doing, it is what? Freely available to everyone. Okay, it's okay. But as soon as we can apply the another competitor to this one, say two persons, and they have to calculate, suppose the or they have to find out the topper value or topper. What they will do? They will compare the two students marks of all subject, for example, and they will calculate the percentage, right? So this will go in capture mode. Whenever there is no any competitor, whatever the marks getting by the single person, only he is what? Topper. There is no any competitor, no? So whatever the marks getting by this only single person, that will be what? Topper. So he will be free to get any marks, not only failure side. That you have to remember. Now then you are saying, this is also topper, even though he is fail or she is fail. So whenever the single person is there, no competitor is available. It is what? In free mode. Same like this PLL also. No frequency will applied till to that point. It will be in a free running mode. As soon as competitor, that is what, another signal will be applied to that PLL. PLL will try to capture that frequency, and it will be go in what? Your capture mode, and he will try to reach or to capture this frequency. As soon as it will be capture that frequency, it will go in a locked loop. What is remaining then into that one? What is the input signal? You are getting what? Fc plus deviation, Fc and Fc minus deviation. So what it will try to do it? It will try to capture the Fc frequency, and as soon as it will be capture the Fc frequency, this VCO having the Fc frequency, here is also Fc frequency is present, because output is Fc plus deviation, Fc, Fc minus deviation. Once this PLL will be achieve the Fc frequency, what is remaining into that one? Minus deviation and plus deviation, is it? Yes, and that deviation is nothing but what? Your K into Vm. K into Vm, that is what? Kv or Kp into Vm or into Mt. Kp into Mt or Kv into Mt. Yes, so Kp is the constant. There is no any value, because this is the DC bias. Kp is what? Any DC voltage. And what is remaining? Only Mt. And Mt is nothing but what? Your low frequency. That low frequency is passed through this low pass filter to the output side, and output you are getting what? Reconstructed signal, and that is called as what? Locked loop of that PLL, where output will be you are getting as a reconstructed signal. Getting it? Operation of your PLL. Zero crossing detector, we don't have that in our syllabus. So only zero crossing detectors are also used because of advantages in digital integrated circuits. This is not in our syllabus. So this is what the summary of the today's lectures. What we have covered, some of the instantaneous frequency, FM, PM signals, bandwidth of analog modulated signals, narrowband FM, wideband FM. Also we have seen generation of FM signal. Also we have seen direct and indirect generation. Also we have seen. Then demodulation we have seen, frequency discriminator, PLL, amplitude modulation also we have seen in our syllabus. Okay, so this is what the today's class, where we will see or we have seen only the basic modulation technique. In next lecture we'll see the our second, that is what, the receiver part, where we can go for the AM receiver and FM receiver. So this lecture I will announce maybe on Monday's lecture, or we'll go for the tomorrow. I think it is not possible for me. We'll go Monday, or we'll cover this part in Monday's or Tuesday's lecture. And after completing this one, we'll go for the examination, or we'll go for the objective type of questions. How the questions will be asked in the gate examination. I will show the samples to you, and I will tell you also how to solve this one, how to find out the values also, or how to find out the answers. And then we'll put a small examination on this subject. So we'll check it how much marks you are getting into that one. Okay. So hope you are getting something from this 2 hours lecture.